Hi, I'm T.T. Trooper. I'm here with Sarah Jane King, the author
Of the Red Woman in the Red Chong Sam, yes.
Chong Sam.
Chong Sam.
Okay, what inspired you to write this specific book?
Do you know, it's been an organic thing really, because I went along to a creative writing class in Bracknell Arts Centre it was, and the tutor there gave us all sorts of exercises to do, world music to play and all sorts of things. And I came up with the idea of a story about a Chinese armour. Mm-hmm. And then it developed, and I thought, she's got children, so it started off with her having a son, and they were caught up in the Malaysian emergency, which was a 12-year communist guerrilla war. And then, of course, there was also a female character as the other protagonist. So, yes, it just grew gradually, the story evolved, and it spans 5 decades.
Yeah. Was that the Mau Mau Rebellion?
No, that's in Kenya.
Oh, of course.
No, this was actually, it was from 1948 to 1960, and there was a young agitator, Chin Peng his name was, and he was a young man who, together with many of his colleagues, had actually fought with the British against the Japanese when they invaded Malaysia, or what was Malaya actually at that time. And he led an armed struggle against the British because he wanted to have a communist government. Yeah. And so that's where this story sort of stems from, if you like, but it evolves and goes on about these 2 survivors.
Which character or aspect of your book do you most closely identify with and why?
Well, I think probably Julia, because she's a bit of a feisty devil. So, yeah, she's a bit prickly and she, struggles sometimes. Sometimes she's very impulsive and says the wrong thing and regrets it afterwards, but she's a fighter. Mm-hmm. She's determined and persistent. So I think, yes, persistent, I would say, is certainly something I can relate to.
So you have to be persistent if you're a writer, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely, you do, yes.
So what's your favourite part of the writing process and what is your least favourite?
I think creating multifaceted characters. My least favourite is probably the more mundane stuff that you have to put in because you know it's necessary, otherwise people aren't going to know who's where, when, whatever. But yes, it's the less impactful, dramatic stuff, I suppose, yes.
It's trying to make it not be filler, but being important.
Exactly.
It's like, got to get you to the other part of the story.
That's right.
Okay, how's writing your novel? Sorry, correct. I might have to edit that bit out because I goofed. How's writing your novel involved? I'll start that again. How's writing your...
Fine, don't worry about it.
I never do this.
It's me. It's me. I have that effect on people.
How's your writing evolved since you first began publishing?
I think to start with, I was very nervous about the whole process, and I really thought, why am I doing this? Can I really write? It took me a while, really, to feel confident, if you like, about the writing process. And I kept on editing, I'd start writing, then I'd edit it, and I thought, no. And then, I was given lots of advice. Just write what's in there. It doesn't matter if it's rubbish, and edit it afterwards. Yeah. So, yes, I followed that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is one writing rule that you believe in, and what is one that you believe should be broken?
I think the rule is not to edit when you're writing initially. Just let it pour out and let it evolve. But then obviously you've got to go back and you've got to think, what's this story really about? What really matters? Mm-hmm. Because initially I wrote a whole load of stuff about the 1930s and about all sorts of wartime and everything that was going on before the guerrilla war. And my editor, Kate, bless her, she said, do you really want all this? What's the story about? It's about Lim and Julia, obviously. So, yes, that went.
What do you hope readers will take away from the book?
I hope people may not be aware about the Malayan emergency, so I hope they'll learn a little bit of history, and it'll make them think about the consequences of war and the after effects of it, and how people, struggle to overcome those difficulties. The legacy of it, yes.
Yeah. How do you handle it when you find when the inspiration just doesn't come? How do you deal with that?
I absolutely adore music, so film score music particularly, and some people hate the idea of working with music, but for me, it puts me in the zone. I can definitely, you know, that's where the creative process, if you like, really starts rolling. I start thinking, yes, you know, I can imagine myself in this situation. I am that character. And yes, that really helps me a lot.
Well, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received or would give to an aspiring writer?
Well, I mentioned this the other day, actually, to somebody, and it's really, I think, Nicholas Evans, the late author of The Horse Whisperer, said to me, make sure you read an awful lot, which I think is really important, and then hone and polish your work, and, you know, get it as best as you can before you approach anybody about publication. So, yes, that's something I stand by.
What is a question you wish someone would ask you about your book but never does?
That it feels a bit like giving birth, and you won't appreciate this, but it's actually like a long labour. And I could sort of hear Kate sort of saying, come on, one more push and you'll be there, you'll get there. So yes, joyful at the end, but a bit of a struggle to start with.
Yeah, I don't think I would quite relate to that. But, finally, where can people buy your book?
It's available at bookshops, certainly in Ware. It's available at the Book Nook. It's in Hertford at the Tourist Information, at bookshops generally, Amazon, and the Endless Bookcase, who are my publishers. On my website, there's an actual QR code. You just log into that, or rather scan it, and you can buy books through that. Yes.
Okay, and there will be links in the description below. So, Sarah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm delighted to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.